We had another storm last night. This is the stuff that's coming out of this whole paddock here, which is much cleaner and going to be much drier. Look at this guy. It's like, that thing scares the poop out of me. Give it a sniff, Roni. He says, are you sure? Yeah, leaf blowing, because holy cow, if you can see way over there, it's still a big mess. Storms aplenty around here. I wanted to cover a little bit of what it means to have a dry lot. I've been doing this and thinking once in a while I get people that come in. I mean, it's really like 2 or 3 times a year people come in and say, oh, your horses are living on a dry lot. If you had any idea of how hard I am trying to make this place into a dry lot, you'd not say anything because we get so much rain. This is not the climate that stays dry very long whatsoever. We live in a rainforest. Look at this place. It is lush and wet. A lot of wet around here. He's still watching me like a hawk. It's like, are you sure it's okay to start eating? Yeah, buddy. Look at Gracie. She's doing just fine. But I wanted to cover this briefly because I get this once in a while. And so I would imagine that other people get this once in a while. And the idea is that people will come in and they'll say something like, your horses are on a dry lot. They should be out on pasture. They should be out on dirt and mud and stuff like that. And that absolutely isn't the truth. A lot of times people seem to get concerned about there being cracks in hooves because they're too dry. But the horse's feet are actually evolutionarily set up to be dry, and they provide their own moistures and oils. You do not have to put oils on, you do not have to put creams on, you don't have to put anything on hooves. If they're cracking, you've got a trimming issue or a nutrition issue or some kind of health issue in the horse. It's not the environment that's causing this, because when they are on wet ground all the time or they are always oiled, you're actually much more susceptible to those types of cracks, much more susceptible to sort of weakness in the hoof that then causes them to sort of splay out because they don't get trimmed enough, they don't get trimmed appropriately, mainly because they can't wear their own feet down. So having, in this case, sort of a half dry lot, I mean, granted, in the summertime, it's dry, but it's really good for their feet. They wear their feet down so nicely here that there's less to do, there's less to worry about. And when you do go to trim them, you have this great wear pattern to draw from because they're actually wearing their feet down instead of them just kind of going to sort of a mush and then they just sort of do that and they never wear out and they get flat instead of standing up straight. It's another issue when you have foals, little baby horses, that people just put them on soft ground all the time, that their genetics then start to shift a little and they're not so strong when it comes to being on hard ground, so that, yeah, when they do end up getting onto hard ground, they struggle. It's not like any different than us. So we wear shoes and boots all the time, and then we go out onto some gravel or some rock, or we go to the beach or something like that in the summertime. Brand new season comes along, you're all excited to be out and about, and your feet kind of hurt. Your feet don't feel good because you've spent the whole winter and spring sort of protecting your feet a lot instead of being out in the warmth with your bare feet. So for horses, a dry lot, in fact, if I could keep this much drier, I would, but a dry lot is far superior for them genetically, environmentally, healthily, all those kinds of things, than what would, I guess, some people refer to as a wet lot. In fact, I would feel sorry for horses that have to live in this kind of thing or that kind of thing there, where they would be stuck on a wet lot all the time. Definitely not good for their feet, and in turn, it affects their whole body. So something to think about. I thought I would put that out there. This is going to be a short one. I'm going to finish all this up and move on to the others. Hopefully no more storms. We are running out of leaves in the trees, as you can see. It's it's crazy. But keeping the health of the horse number one. So I want to put this out there and make sure that I'm a voice in the world that says it's okay if you consider having harder ground for your horses, dry ground for your horses. It is definitely going to be healthier for their hooves. Also, maintaining their feet as well when you're doing your trimming and stuff is important. But this will help rather than hinder. So, something to think about. Anyhow, Roni's back to eating. He's happy. He says, well, that guy's just chatting away, so it seems like it's all cool. It is. All good. Good shares. Good little horses here. Not a bad day right now, but last night was a nightmare. Wind, storm. Anyways, on with the day. I'm going to get this done. I'll see you guys in the next one.